Look, guys, if the weather was a food, I think I would describe it as scrumptious. It has been absolutely perfect with sunshine and comfortable temperatures and very low levels of humidity. Unfortunately, if you're like me, you're not a fan of the high heat and the high humidity. And well, unfortunately, our comfort factor is going to go way down as the hot summer temperatures return. An unsettled pattern is back as well, with several opportunities of showers and thunderstorms, and our dew points are probably going to be back up near 70 degrees. Now, we're not really looking at any one big wet weather maker. There will be several opportunities of scattered showers. It's your typical summer pattern here in New Jersey, and by the end of the week, actually have a cold front that's going to come through. That could bring a round of stronger storms, but most importantly, it's going to be bringing some relief. And then after that, I think we end up in a situation where temperatures are actually around normal again. So around 90 right through Thursday, backing off into the middle 80s on Friday and Saturday. For Jersey Matters, I'm Nor'easter.
Welcome back to Jersey Matters. Long before Bruce Springsteen waxed poetic about Asbury Park, the city was known for a rich history, especially when it came to music. And as Kimberly Kravitz reports, the town is celebrating an important birthday this month. Kimberly.
2021 marks the 150th anniversary of the founding of Asbury Park. And the city has been through a roller coaster of high highs and low lows. But one thing remains the same through the decades.
Even when people had no other reason to come to Asbury Park, they came for the music.
The music kept Mr. Clifford Johnson in Asbury Park for his entire life of 98 years.
Home is it's just a special place to me. The west side of Asbury Park, you've heard of Springwood Avenue. Well, if you know anything about the old Harlem of New York, Springwood Avenue is like the old Harlem. Clubs and music, shows all over the place. The Turf Club in Asbury Park is one of the major jazz places in the west side of Asbury Park. They painted some pictures on the wall at the Turf Club, and they got my name under a window.
At one time, it was Clarence Clemens, Ray Charles, and Duke Ellington sweeping the streets of Springwood Avenue. But then later on, rock and roll made its way to the boardwalk.
So the Stone Pony is still here, the Wonder Bar is still here, and Bruce still comes, right? And Southside is still out there.
John Moore, a lifelong resident and now mayor of Asbury Park, tells me that growing up here was magical.
None of us realized we lived in a mini Disney World.
Moore is proud of Asbury Park's history.
But in 1874 was when it was incorporated as a borough, and then 1897 was it was incorporated as a city.
The 1890s was the big blossoming period when all the hotels along Ocean Avenue and then down the numbered streets were open and were bustling with activity.
One of the toughest times in Asbury Park was about 50 years ago, during the time of riots and civil unrest.
During that time when Martin Luther King was assassinated, Bob Kennedy was assassinated, things started getting, I started seeing a lot of faces that I never saw before. The night of July 3rd, 1970, and I saw so many people running back and forth, males, and I didn't recognize any of them, and I knew all the local people. They burned most of all of the jazz places, all the black businesses. I mean, it was just...
But with that came a revival.
We were down and out. The gay community moving into Asbury Park definitely helped.
In the late 90s, early 2000s, the gay community, and I think the design and fashion communities of Philadelphia and New York, saw what Asbury was all about.
Some of the greatest successes were born in Asbury Park, including Wendy Williams, Danny DeVito, and Jack Nicholson. The education system in the city was one that also had its good and bad times.
There was a golden era for Asbury Park's public education where they were graduating kids that went to extraordinary schools who became stars in their respective professions. The unfortunate thing is the quality of education that produced those graduates changed.
Over the years, one constant was the character of Asbury Park, one that is all-inclusive and a vibrant, diverse community, once known as the Duchess of the Jersey Shore.
Well, the LGBTQ community has always had a home here in Asbury Park, but the future is really defined by what we do with this home.
Well, the city still has a ways to go, including the west side of town where most residents still live under the poverty line. But it doesn't keep people away from this Jersey Shore town, right off exit 100 off of the Garden State Parkway. Reporting for Jersey Matters from Asbury Park, I'm Kimberly Kravitz.
All right, thank you, Kimberly, and happy birthday, Asbury Park. My commentary is next.